Today I would like to show you about a program I've been using for 7 years to help my kids to learn how to practice their handwriting skills and learn Bible verses and much more. It's called Start Right 6.0. I know that many of us have used the free programs online that let us make handwriting practice worksheets. They are all very limited compared to this program. One of the things I like about this is that I can choose whatever font I want. I mean, I have so many to choose from. Okay, I mean, the options are many. Most of the time, though, you're going to probably want to stick with the group above this line here. Let's say that you are using handwriting without tears. You could choose handwriting without tears. You could select your font size. You can choose how dark your words are. So if I wanted to make them faint, like a gray color, so that my students can trace it, I can. Or if I want them to see the word and then write it right next to it, I could do it dark like this. If I wanted them to be able to trace the dots because they're, say, in kindergarten, I could choose dots. See, we have 25%, 50, 75. It just increases the density of the dots. However, for the sake of this video, I am going to switch back to 100% so you can see what I'm doing a little bit more easily. Another thing that I can do is I can change the guidelines. The guidelines are these lines here. You know, we have the top line, the middle line, and the baseline is the red one, and then we have the descender line that tells the students how far to go for their letter G, Y, P, Q, etc. Okay, I can turn off the top line if I want to, see, like that, and I can turn off the bottom descender line like this, and I can turn the middle line to dashed or solid. And then, like this, I've got it looking like handwriting without tears. But if I prefer, I can have it look like this, where I have the top line solid, the middle line dashed, and the bottom line can be solid. Another option that I have is I can change the line color. Let's say I really want to use black because all I have left in my printer is black. I can switch them all to black like that. It makes it really easy to make copies that way too, because the lines will show up more easily. I'm going to push cancel for now, like that, because I like the way it was. Some people like to teach their kids using the stroke arrows. So it shows me like 1 is the first one down, 2 across, but maybe you can't see that very well, so I'm going to increase it to 150% zoom here. See, it shows you which order to do each of the different lines in. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of those now. A lot of people also like to use the start dot. It shows the students where to start. So this is where you start an F. This is up here at that dot. I know it started there and end there, and so on. Okay, it's really easy to turn off. You can either click the button here, or you can click the arrow to have an example and even change the color. So if you have a kid that really wants hot pink, you can go hot pink. Another thing that you can do is come up here to click letter outline. I'm going to show you an example here. Let's make it hot pink just so it stands out. I can have it go like this so the kids will trace inside of the outline. Okay, so let's say I decided to have no dots or no lines. They would go inside it so they could see where they need to go and try to stay inside that space, which can be pretty good challenge for a lot of kids. Okay, so that's one option that you have too. Another thing is called a decision dot. It's really hard to see right here, but there are blue dots around it. So I'm going to switch to hot pink again because that seems to stand out really well. There's little dots right there And so the kids have to play connect the dots. Sometimes kids enjoy that. Another feature that I like is that I can say, okay, first you do the red line, then you do the blue line, then the green line, then this purple line. And that helps them to know which order. Some kids really tune into the colors when it comes to which order you do things. Better than, say, the stroke numbers where it says one here, two there, etc. Now, as you can see, I have different lines for the kids to practice, but let's say I want to save this as a new file using the exact same words and have them copy it onto another piece of paper. I can click this Include in Flowing Text button, and it will put it in there like that. Now, the last time I did all this, I had spaces after each of them, so it made spaces automatically. But you see, I didn't have to retype it all, which is very handy when you're busy. Another feature that I like is border art. Okay, let's say you want to make your paper exciting for your kid to do, and they really like apples. Well, you can add apples. You can change what size they are, whatever you want. If you want it to really stand out, you can make them big. You can also do black and white, and then they could color in the little apples. Some kids really like that. So, your choice. Okay, one of the things I want to show you how to do next is to create your own brand new worksheet after you've made another worksheet. It has a default of one line, okay? So I'm going to move it down so I can show you another really cool customization feature that this program has. It's add a new art box, okay? Let's say I'm talking about the letter A. I could choose to use ant. I could decorate my page using ant. I could put them all the way across here by either doing copy here or using Control C. And then I can paste it or Control V. And then I can just keep putting them across. I'm using Control V because that's my favorite thing to do. What I can also do is I can get the grid up and say snap to grid, and it will snap it there. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of the grid. Okay, so then I could come down here and do the letter A. I'm going to turn it back up to solid lines so you can see what I'm doing. A, okay. And then I could continue to do that down below. I could come down here and let's say I want to do B. And I feel like doing bat. Yeah, bat here. Okay. I could put my bats right here. Like this. Okay, and then I can click on this button up here, which is add a new text box. Okay, so, oops, I accidentally grabbed the wrong thing. Okay, grab the text box and put it down here. Okay, let's say I wanted to teach my students how to do the word bat. Oops, wrong button, sorry. Okay, bat. Okay, so then I could write it here and then have them write it a couple more times over there or something, over in this section. So anyway, that's another really cool function that you can use the Start Right 6.0 program for. Another activity that I like to do with the Start Right 6.0 program is to allow my kids to write a few sentences and draw their own pictures. So I can always move my text box down here, and just for ease of use, I am going to just put them down here like this. I like that I can decide how much space is in between each of these lines by doing it like this, so if I want, I could put like a really huge gap there or something like that. Okay, so let's say that you want to get your student to make a picture and then to write a sentence or two about it. You can make your worksheet with space up here, and then you have your lines down here to make sentences. Now, you may have noticed that I have this paper and all the previous examples in portrait, but if you're working with a young student, you may prefer to have it in landscape. And as you can see, this one here is floating down here, so I will want to put it up here, and then I can make the line longer. Okay, and you know, perhaps I might want to increase the font size, so say 72. That's pretty easy to do. I'll scoot this one up a little bit and switch it to 72 also, because they tend to need more space. Okay, yeah, I definitely find that that helps to increase the size of the lines. And you know, I can continue to manipulate it as much as I want. Okay, the last thing that I want to show you is how to, or another function that you can do, and that is to copy and paste from somewhere else, like, you know, the internet or anywhere. You can just come up here and push paste, and I decided to get Matthew 3 verse 2. Okay, so let's say I wanted, oops, wrong button, I meant to click this one. Let's say that I wanted to have my child practice this particular verse for whatever reason and have it memorized. One of the best ways that you can have your kids memorize it is to hear you read it, hear themselves read it, and reading it out loud, to see it, and to write it down themselves. So you could just copy and paste the verse right in here, or you can type it in yourself. You could have them copied onto another piece of paper. There are a lot of options here. Let's say that I wanted them to put "and saying" right here, and then the comma on the next line. I could. It's really easy. I just add the lines like this. So I have options. I can have them write it right beneath it, or I could do it on a separate worksheet. Okay. Then we can also try pushing this button, and it puts it back together like that, and then they could write it at the bottom of the worksheet. You have so many choices here. So I will make this look really neat and then call it good. Let's say that I want flowers today. Yes, flowers. There we go. I'm going to put flowers around it. So that's what my worksheet would look like, and it would make it a lot more fun to do. And if you have used this program and you have some really neat ideas, I would love to read about them in the comments section. If you have questions, you can leave them there too. And I'll also leave a link to where you can find this program and give it a whirl. I hope you have a great day, and I look forward to having you watch my other videos. Thank you, and once again, have a great day.